Today's session, we're going to be going, so previous sessions, the first one, we went through the rectangle pattern. We went through the bullish and bearish variant. Last session, we went through the triple bottom. And again, the bullish and bearish variant, we went through the triple bottom and triple top. Today's session, we're going to be going through the double bottom and the double top, okay? So let's get straight into this. Perfect. So with a double bottom, we have a few characteristics that we're looking for. If you was on last week's session, you would have seen it's a similar sort of start with this pattern, okay? So what we're looking for is we're looking for the two swing lows. They're the first criteria, so to speak. They're the first sort of, indications to identify that the double bottom has formed, okay? And that will be around the same price level. So these two swing lows, okay? Again, like I said in a previous session, they don't have to be perfect, but they need to be around the same level, okay? Perfect. So the next criteria that we're looking for is we're looking for the swing high to be in between the two swing lows. And this essentially projects the resistance level, okay? So as you can see here, this point here, that's the swing high between the two swing lows. And this provides our resistance point level, okay? And then the next point that we're looking for in the double bottom, the first swing low marks the extreme low of the existing downward trend, okay? So when we're looking for the bullish reversal, even though this is a bullish reversal, we are coming from a downward trend, okay? So as you can see on this point here, we're looking for that low and then that lower low as well, right? And then again, we're looking for this downward trend in order to indicate that, we are in a downward trend and we're looking for a reversal pattern, a bullish reversal pattern. So in this case, it's the double bottom pattern, okay? So the next point that we're looking for is with the second swing low, we're looking to identify where it's going to, where it's going to be supported, okay? So at this point here, this level here is the support level, right? And we know that because it's failing to break past that previous low, okay? So it indicates a bearish, the bearish momentum is slowing down. So that bearish downward trend is coming to an end. And it is sort of like a warning for a reversal, which might occur, okay? So that's the indication that we're looking for right here, okay? So once we've got that indication, the next steps, we'll be looking for the breakout. So this is our entry point, essentially. This is the distinguishing factor. If price bounces off of this point and does not break out, it's a failed pattern, okay? So it essentially means that it's not valid, okay? So we're looking for price to break out. Once it breaks above the resistance level, it confirms the bullish reversal. So it confirms that this pattern has, been formed, and it confirms that we're reversing in trend. So we're no longer downwards, we're going upwards, okay? Now, with regards to an entry, with my trading style, you can enter once price is broken. However, I always look for a retest on that previous resistance level, okay? Because once we have broken out of this previous resistance level, it has now become a support level, okay? So the reason I like to wait for the retest is because I like to see that confirmation that this is a strong support level. Because, for example, if you was to enter at this point and price did go up, but it did come back down and then just fell through, ideally we're looking for the indicators down here at this point to enter. So indicators being, certain candles, like a shooting star, for example. So long candle wicks to the downside and the upper part of the candle being a strong, green sort of candle body. that's the sort of indication that I'm looking for, okay? And I'm looking for sort of the momentum. So once price is broken out of this point, if we do have the volume indicator on, we're looking for the volume to spike at that point. So if you were in my previous session, you would have noted that once price had broken out of the triple bottom, or the triple top, I think it was we did last week, we were looking for that volume to spike. So we have that confirmation that momentum picks up as we make that breakout. Okay, so we're looking to buy at the retest. And then for the, I'm just going to do this. For the stop loss, personally, I like to place my stop loss behind the previous sort of support zone. You can place it below the previous resistance, but personally, I like to place it below the previous support. It just gives it that much breathing room. It gives your pattern, your trade a lot of breathing room, so you're not just placing it sort of like maybe 10 pips or something right close to the entry, okay? And then to calculate your take profit, your target profit levels, what you will do is you will measure the point between the previous support and the previous resistance, okay? As you can see here, just for the example's sake, I've put down 50 pips. So then we take this measurement and we input it into our trade, and we measure the amount of pips from the entry point to our take profit, okay? So that would be 50 pips in this case, okay? So far, do we have any questions? Do we have any questions surrounding the pattern or how it works?
What's happened?
Any questions surrounding the pattern itself? No questions? Okay, that's fine. Perfect. Right, so we're going to move to a live example now. Perfect. So we're just going to move to a live example. So let's have a look at, let's have a look. So with this pattern, so with any pattern, you can find these on any time frame. So let's have a look at this. This is a good example. Again, I don't look for these patterns. With the harmonic patterns, I did look for them previously just to save time. But with these patterns, they're more consistent, they're more frequent. So you can see right here, this was trending downward at this point and chose to reverse and go back up. So let's have a look at a few characteristics on this. So the first two being the swing lows. So you've got your swing lows here. So
What's going on?
Perfect. So
What did he say?
perfect. Right. So you've got your first swing low there, and then you've got your second swing low here. Again, they're not, like I mentioned when we first started, they're not exact on that level, on that resistance level, but they don't need to be. They don't need to be precise, right? So let's draw out a support zone.
What's going on here?
Right. So let's have a look. I'm looking for the parallel channel. There it is. Right. So as you can see here, actually, I'm going to change that. Let's use different pattern. Let's use the rectangle pattern. So right here, you can see the support. Okay. And then with regards to the resistance, we're looking for that swing high. Okay. So with the swing high, let's say, for example, we could place it there. So there's the
So
swing
with the
high.
swing high, you fall off.
Perfect. Let's see. So right there, that's the resistance zone created by that swing high in the center. And then what we're looking for price to do. So let's
Why
see.
aren't you answering, mate?
Just bear with me 1 second. All right. Just bear with me 1 second, guys. Just one moment. Sorry about that, guys. Right. So just to continue the session. Perfect. So we've got the swing high right here. We've got our support zone. So we're looking for price to break out. And then with regards to the indicator, again, we can use the volume indicator. So let me just put that down. Volume. Let's have a look. Is there a spike? There is a little bit of a spike there with the volume. So let me draw that level just so everybody can see. So let's do a horizontal line. Let's do it there. Make that red. So you can see a slight spike in the volume. It's not major like this one here. Ideally, you would want a spike like this to be defined, to distinguish the breakout. However, we do have the previous resistance to look for that breakout. As you can see here as well, there was a retest. So if we drop down to the 15 minutes, let's have a look. So look at that perfect retest of this pattern of the double bottom. So let's bring it out a little bit. Right. So then we'd look to enter at this point here, or even on this retest here. So that's a deeper retest right there. So we got the breakout candle here. So as you can see here, we've got the long wicks that are, you know, sort of keeping us, these two candles are keeping us within this resistance zone. But then we do have a strong bullish sort of candle that's taking us out of the, and again, you do have that spike in volume at this point here. So as you can see, the volume does indicate, you know, so let me just, there. So if we look at the volume, it does spike significantly over this point. And that's when we would look to sort of, that's an indication that we have broken out. And then, and then at that point, what we're doing is we're looking for the retest to enter, okay? we're looking for the retest to enter this trade. So let's look for another perfect. Can you guys hear me? Sorry, someone said there's two people saying they can't hear me. Can everybody see and hear? Yes, perfect. Thank you, guys. Perfect. So does anybody have any questions about this? We can look for some more examples as well. This was on the 15 minutes. We can look at another, sorry, this was on the hour actually. We found that on the hour mark. So I have enabled the waiting room because somebody keeps joining and just disrupting the session. So any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. Let's pick a random, let's pick NZD. So here. So again, you've got swing lows here, two swing lows, one swing high. Again, there's no significant increase in volume. So let me have a look. Let me draw that out on this one. So we're on NZD USD now. Although this support zone, the price action, they're a lot more closer. So if we just do that, if I bring that down to the wicks like that, let's make that green for support. Then you've got your swing high in the center there. Let's have a look. Right. So let's draw up the resistance point here. At this point, so you've got your resistance there. And then I'm just going to quiz everybody in the chat now. What do we do when we look for an entry? So John, just to answer your question, you could look for these patterns on any time frame. We're looking for a retest, amazing. How would we enter on the retest? Like, are we looking for the 1 hour time frame? Is there any particular time frame that you would use to look for the entry? 15 minutes. Okay, perfect. So anything below 15 minutes is good. 15 minutes is like the perfect entry time frame. Perfect. So let's drop down to the 15 minutes. And as you can see here, we have, it's not the best breakout at this point because we are sort of like consolidating in a way. So it's a sideways moving sort of a price action. So let me come back to this slide actually. I just want to show everyone something. So generally with this pattern, it's all down to yourself, whether you buy on the breakout, whether you buy at the retest, whether you place your stop loss behind the previous resistance or behind the previous support. I always like, again, like I pointed out, I always like to put my stop loss behind the previous support. The reason being, again, it gives you that breathing room, gives the trade the breathing room, the space to sort of move if it needed to. But you know, most of the time, if the trade is a perfect trade and it plays out the way it's supposed to, then it won't need it. But that's just in case. Okay. So as you can see here, if we did place our stop loss, you know, behind the previous resistance, it would be okay. But again, you can see here, the wick did come out of that resistance zone. So again, you know, it's all personal preference. I would personally have placed my stop loss here, but again, you can place it at this point as well, just to point that out for everyone. And again, with regards to entry, let's say we entered, let's say we dropped it to the 5 minutes. So here's a good zone, actually. Here's a good indication, an indicator. So price broke out. So I'm just trying to find a particular tool. Ah, there it is. So price broke out, okay, and then it retested and then left the area. Can everybody see that? So let me bring this to the forefront. So can everybody see that on the 5 minute time frame? So this time, the perfect entry was 5 minutes. On the previous pattern we looked at, live pattern, it was on the 15 minutes. Can everybody see that clearly? Okay, perfect. That's fine. So with the retest, what we're looking for, so I'm going to draw it out again. So let me delete that. So with the retest, you can even see the retest on the 1 hour, actually. So let's say price did break out and close at this point. And we placed our buy limit. Let's say, for example, we placed a buy limit. We've seen the close of this candle, and we placed a buy limit at this point. We would be entered into the trade because it did retest on the hour anyway. However, if you drop down to a lower time frame, you could see here, price did, 2 candles did close above, and then we had the retest, and then price took off. Okay, so let's jump back to USD Chef. Was it USD Chef? There's even another point here as well. This is a good one as well. That's on the 5 minutes. So these patterns are everywhere. You know, you cannot miss these patterns. That's the good thing about having the knowledge for all of the patterns, not just, you know, a few. So if we bring it back to this chart here, so far we've been through the rectangle and the triple bottom, but if we have the knowledge for, you know, all of these patterns, when it comes to, you know, doing your markups, analyzing the charts, again, if you see here, let's have a look at this. Try to find the, there it is. So again, this one's not the most ideal support zone here. However, it did play out the way, you know, we were looking for it to play out. So a break and retest is essentially what we're looking for. We're looking for the candle to break the resistance, which it does here. It breaks out. But most importantly, with that break, we're looking for the candle to close above, okay? And with break and retests, we do want them on a higher time frame. We don't want to be looking for 15 minutes, 5 minutes, etc. Ideally, we want 1 hour and above. So let's look at the 4 hour as well for that. Let's see how that played out. Let's see. So even on the 4 hour, as you can see here, price did close, you know, the candle did close way above, right? But then again, that next 4 hour candle came back to retest our resistance. So again, this swing high in the center of the 2 swing lows right here, this creates our resistance, right? And then price comes down, retest that break of this candle, retest the break of the resistance. This is where we enter. And again, let me go through a demonstration of creating the take profit. So if we grab the ruler, you can go from the edges like this. So that's about 70 pips. Or if you want to be cautious, you could do that. You can go from the inside of each zone. With the support and resistance, what you have to keep in mind, one thing that when I first started out trading is I used to draw a line. Your support and resistance is not a line, okay? Don't kid yourself. It's, price is price reacts to certain levels, but when it comes to support and resistance zones, like for example, this rectangle that I've drawn up, don't kid yourself. It's not going to, stick to a particular price level, if that makes sense. As you can see here, there was quite a big zone for the support, and then quite a bit bigger resistance level here. So that's fine. And then perfect. So let us place the take profit. So I believe it was 40 pips on one. So that's the 40 pips there. And then I believe it was 70 pips for the other one. So 70 pips right there. So it would have actually hit both of those TPs, whichever one, if you chose to do the edge to edge one or the inside edges, okay, of the support and resistance zones. So does anybody have any questions so far? So with regards to the support and resistance zones, you're just essentially placing them accordingly. So this could be at this point, right? It could be from the bottom of this this swing low. This could be right. It's not exact, but again, it doesn't need to be a perfect placement. We're just wanting to know whereabouts, we're looking for those support levels and the resistance level as well. Okay. Perfect. Does anybody have any questions regarding the pattern itself or anything else? In the next session, I do want to go through well, probably the flag pattern we'll be going through in the next session. How is everybody's trading week going so far? If everybody could pop in the chat, are we all like sort of new to trading? How long have we been trading for? Okay, perfect. Okay, that's fine. So we've got a good sort of mix here. We've got so Sean, you mentioned you're trading on your demo. You've been learning for 2 months. That's really good. Sean, can I ask how do you sort of divide your time to learn this? Do you sort of watch one video a day? Do you watch it on the weekends, your videos? Are you going onto the ECA videos? Is it just the Zoom videos that you're coming onto? 3 weeks in. That's completely fine, John. When we first start, one thing that I learned from trading from many of my mentors, well-experienced mentors, your first couple of years of trading, it's not how much you can generate, how much you can make. It's if you start with, let's say, for example, an account of £200, if in 2 years you haven't blown that account, you're well on your way to becoming a professional trader. 1 month, perfect. Just remember, guys, to stick to risk management, because at the end of the day, it's capital preservation. That's what we're looking to do. We're looking to be able to trade another day. We're not looking to, make millions in one day. We're looking to be able to trade another day. And with risk to reward, that is the key to a successful trader, risk to reward. And you know, the number of trades you place, if 3 of them hit stop loss and 2 of them hit your take profit levels, overall you should be in profit at that point. Okay, so it's all about managing your risk to reward, etc. Perfect. Right, so still on demo. Okay, perfect. That's good. That's good that we're on a demo account. In between shifts on ECA. Okay, that's good. In between ECA, YouTube, and webinars. Okay, perfect. Awesome. So with the ECA sections, have you been through all of the welcome videos, all of the beginner videos, and have you moved on to LTA videos? So the pre-recorded videos for Manara or any other of the educators? That's for Sean and Alonso as well. Does this pattern give a good risk to reward? So with risk to reward, let's say, for example, I was to look at, let's see. So to answer that question very simply, yes, it does. But it depends which time frame you're looking at. Depends on what your risk to reward is. Okay. So everybody's risk to reward is different. So let's say, for example, you went for you know, a 1 to 3, right? So with this, let's have a quick look. So let's say we entered at this point. So we placed let's say we placed our stop loss there or here. Let's say your stop loss is 30 pips. Okay. And then your take profit is 60. So you've got a 1 to 2 risk to reward factor right there. So with these trades, with these patterns, again, with regards to your risk to reward, it's based off of which time frame you're looking at. So if I'm looking at a lower time frame, let's say I'm looking for this pattern in a lower time frame. Let's have a look. So no, that's not really a good demonstration of the pattern. What about this one? This one's okay. It's not perfect again. But let's have a look at this just to answer your question. So let's quickly have a look at this point. So support zone here. Let's make that green. And then resistance here. Make that red. Right, so let's get our ruler out. So that's 4 pips, okay? So depending on your risk to reward, so again, as you can see there, you're not really, your risk to reward on a lower time frame won't be as great, just due to the fact that it is a lower time frame. You're looking at smaller moves, so you'll be scalping at that point. The best way to have a larger sort of risk to reward or a better risk to reward would be on the larger time frames. So 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, depending on what type of trader you are. Would you say you're a swing trader or a day trader, scalper? That's good, Sean. That's good. Like when you're watching the videos, try not to skip the video straight away. So if you've watched it and you've taken notes, make sure you understand what's being said instead of just watching each video. And that's one of the mistakes that I made, was wanting to watch all of the videos and just watching them like continuously without trying to understand what was being taught in the video. So what I had to do was go back to my notes. And that's why I always say take notes, because sometimes you don't really have time to go back to the videos. And it's always good to have those notes beside you. So when you do look at the charts, you can come back to your notes and then you can see, okay, what am I looking for? Okay, I'm looking for the 2 swing lows. I'm looking for the swing high in the middle. That would be my resistance. I'm looking for that break. I'm looking for the volume spike for the indicator. And then I'm looking for the retest to enter. And then I can place my stop loss and my entry. Okay. Perfect. So with regards to the swing lows, they don't have to be parallel, right? They don't have to be exact. So I'll show you a quick example. I still have it up here. So where's it gone? So right here, as you can see here, it's a very big sort of support level, but they don't have to be exact. Okay. Let me come back to the chat. Scalper. Scalping is really good, actually. So I would say for a scalper, with regards to patterns, I wouldn't be looking for any reversal patterns. Okay, so because trend reversals, right, you can look for them. I'm not saying that you can't do that with regards to your strategy, your scalping strategy, but again, depends on what strategy you're using as well. Because I'm always looking for patterns, what I'm looking for with my patterns is, I can be looking for reversals, because sometimes I look to swing the market. So when I think swing the market, so let me look for a quick example. Let's do Euro USD. Let's do this. Okay, let me go to the daily. So let's say I'm looking to swing the market, right? I always like to use this point as a good example. So as you can see here, there's a very large wick, right? So let me quickly turn this on. So as you can see here, with this pattern, we are looking for, when this pattern formed, it was a good point to look for that reversal pattern, is what I'm trying to say. So for example, let me turn that off. Actually, let's leave it on. So let's have a look at this. So as you can see here, there's a few touch points on this level here. Okay. So if I draw this out, again, it's not perfect. Let's put that there, actually. Let's just put that there. Let's just say, for example, we were just marking this out. We didn't know price was going to actually come lower than what it did. Perfect. So if you see here, if I was wanting to enter this, right? Let's say we looked at this chart, we was doing our analysis, and can anybody point out what trend we were in for Euro USD? Can anybody point out? Is it an upward trend, downward trend? It was bearish, right? But now we're in a bit of a situation where it looks bullish. So it was bearish, right? Fantastic, perfect. What I'm looking for, the way I like to trade, I'm sort of adjusting my trading style a little bit now. So I'm looking at where the price could turn around, right? like it did here. So we were in a strong bullish trend. We're in a very strong bullish trend here. We had a correction, and then we had the corrective pattern, and then price dropped, right? What I'm looking for now that price is dropping, I'm looking to swing this long, okay? So what am I looking for? I'm looking for a point where it could turn around. So I'm looking for support zones. So let me change the color of this because it's a support, not a resistance. So I'm looking for the support zones, right? This is a very good support zone. As you can see, it got touched multiple times. 1, 2, 3, 4 times right there. So now, what am I looking for now? What particular patterns am I looking for to take this in the opposite direction? I'm looking for a reversal pattern, right? It could be on any time frame. You've got a butterfly pattern here, which shows a bearish movement, right? But again, my example still stands, right? Let's say I got the, let's pick a pattern. Let's just go with the pattern that we have today. Let's go with the double bottom. Let's say we had a double bottom form, and a perfect example would be within this support zone. So let's say price did this. That would be perfect. That'd be amazing. And then broke out, came back, retested, and left. So to answer your question, so the question was, what patterns would be good for a scalper? So again, depending on your scalping style, let's say you have a support and resistance zone. If you're looking for reversal, you're looking for a continuation, even you're looking for continuation patterns. So the example that we used last week, let me just come back to that. So as you can see here, these are reversal patterns. So these two that we went through, the rectangular pattern was a continuation pattern, okay? So again, you could look for a continuation pattern like the rectangle, like the flag, the pennant, descending triangle, ascending triangle. You can look for the continuation patterns, is what I'm trying to say, to sort of aid you in your trading style. Yeah, that's pretty much everything when it comes to the double bottom pattern and double top pattern. So vice versa with all of these indications, if you're looking for the double top, you're looking for the same indicators, right? You're looking for 2 swing highs, 1 swing low. You're looking for that trend, the upward trend, okay? As opposed to a downward trend, you're looking for the upward trend. And then again, you're looking for the same break and retest to take the pattern down instead. So it's very self-explanatory. Again, take notes. Make sure you're noting down the indicators, the certain requirements for each pattern. Again, the 2 swing lows, 1 swing high, they form your support and resistance zones. So resistance, support there. And then again, with entry, break and retest. So it's very simple, guys. Just make sure we're getting down the fundamentals of, trading. Make sure, how many, with a raise of hands, if everybody could pop down in the chat, how many of us have been through candlesticks? How many of us know, if I was to point out this candlestick right here, how many of us know what this is called? I'm going to put everyone on the spot here. How many of us know what this candle's called? It's got a particular name. Bearish, perfect. Yeah, that's good. That's good. It's an engulfing candle, okay? It's an engulfing candle. If you could see here, we have 3 bearish candles, right? We've got 3 bullish candles, sorry. We've got 3 bullish candles. However, this one bearish candle, it forms the length of these 3 bullish candles. So this is an engulfing candle. This is one thing that I would touch up on, okay? Maybe in the future I could do a session on candlesticks, because candlesticks, to be honest with you, they're very important for entries to understand which way the market is going. Yeah, 3-line strike. Yeah, exactly. So I can tell Sabila has a bit more knowledge in the market. That's good. But maybe I can do a session in the future with regards to candlesticks, because it is very important to understand, you know, how the candles work. Let me do one more because I like doing this now. Can anybody tell me what this candlestick is, what it's called? A doji candle. Perfect. What does a doji candle represent? What does it mean in regards to the market? Confirmation, change of direction. So a doji candle is in fact the market telling us at this point in time, it doesn't know which direction it wants to go in. That's what a doji candle indicates, that it's not, you know, not certain of a downward trend or an upward trend. Okay. It could also indicate a change of direction. Yeah, that is correct. But no, definitely, I appreciate confused candle. Yeah, exactly, confused candle. That's the way I like to put it. Before we end the session today, I hope everyone got a lot of value out of today's session. Again, in order for me to keep doing these sessions, if you could pop in the chat if it did provide any value, so I can keep doing the sessions. And yeah, it would be amazing. I look forward to seeing everyone on the next session as well. I appreciate everyone for joining, especially our Australian viewers at 4 a.m. in the morning. Insane. It is a good time to trade. Perfect. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all for joining. Again, I look forward to seeing you in the next session. And, you know, stay safe trading. Again, remember your risk to reward. Remember to stick to your risk management as well, and use proper risk management. Perfect. I appreciate you all for joining. Take care, guys.